pieces there. They're getting like 20% of whatever it sells for, and the other 80% plus the 15% commission is going to the auction site. So that's a good business. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Very good signals this morning. Although in the beginning I didn't hear anything, mainly because my receiver was still set for the vintage net. I was more than 30 kc low. But anyway, once I got on frequency, it was much better. I'm on my Latine Radio 240, which was recapped with the help of the Wizard of Andy, WA2 CDL, who's making all kinds of interesting modifications to 730 modulator. So, Studio Electronics in Los Angeles, and they were shipped actually the day after I ordered them, they were shipped, and the prices were reasonable for the caps. So if you need electrolytics, that's a possibility. I was thinking of ordering them from Amazon, except they were going to be coming from Beijing. I don't know, with or without the virus. And the expected delivery time was sometime in 2025, so I didn't buy from them. Let's see. Other than that, Joe, yes, there was a violent storm here Thursday night. Brief, but violent. And yesterday I tried to support the poles holding up the dipole that I am using. The previous storms ripped down a part of my random wire antenna. But the real damage here was from, I can't pronounce it, Isaias or whatever, that hurricane. That was a major damage here. Let's see, and lastly, I thought it was interesting, I don't know if you saw on the news, that Steven, the famous director, Steven Spielberg, his father, the father of Steven Spielberg, passed away, and he was a ham, so a silent T, the father of Steven Spielberg. I never knew that he was a ham, so sorry to see him go. Anyway, this will be my only transmission. I will be listening out to the entire first round, as I always do, and let me turn it over to Al. Al, big signal today. Here it comes. W1 VTP. This is WA2 RAS.
Okay, good morning, everyone. W1 VTP. And the other one has a pretty good signal this morning. I'm just zero beating my signals here. If anybody needs zero beat, I am dead on. Just a slight adjustment. The Flux 1500 has the capability of calibrating its frequency to any given frequency. I use WWV on 10 megahertz. You just push a button, and there's a moment when you're offline because you're looking at 10 megahertz, and then it comes back on whether or not it was successful in its calibration. So anyway, that's the way the 1500 works. There are a couple of comments here, but I'm not sure where to insert them. So maybe I'll hold off. Just a word. I did receive Rosie's remains. They're in a nice walnut box. And there's a little place for a frame for a picture or whatever. And I'm trying to come up with something where it might be a view of her face and then some epitaph or some sort of short and brief. So that will be that. Now, progress on as far as I'm working on, even though I think I'm still going through the grief cycle, but I'm working on a couple of things associated with taking out another kitty. I just strongly believe in adopting a kitty or a dog and giving them forever homes. Because in some ways the world is a livable creature, and they do need a home. Problem is, with the COVID virus, the rescue leagues around here are closed down. They just said virtually useless. You don't ever get an answer on the phone. My thinking is that they let everybody go but one person, and that one person is doing all the work. And so they're depending on some robot program to take care of people on the put things up and you can click on it and fill out the form without even seeing sight unseen, and that's just not acceptable. However, having said that, I did send out an email to a veterinarian friend of mine, Vicki, and she's been most helpful in the past on giving good advice at the right time, and it turns out she volunteers at not only a veterinarian, but she volunteers at a pet rescue outfit, and so she suggested I start with that. My hope is that I can have a real person in the person of Vicki to help me out, so make some progress. I did have some, things got a little tense between me and the veterinarian that I was using, and he is really good. But he's 0 for 2. In all fairness, one of them was 20-some-odd years old, and then Rosie, I think, took on an additional congestive heart failure along with everything else, and I think that's what did her in. But anyway, he has kind of a volcanic personality, so I'm not sure that even with his expertise that I want to deal with him anymore. So I did find there's a place where I cycle. Whenever I go out, I always come back on this road, and there's a animal hospital called the Tower Hill Animal Hospital. And it seems that they are open for business. When I say open, I mean you can walk in and talk to people, and you can bring your pets in, and so on and so forth. So I'm thinking very strongly that I will go there. And the selection criteria is very broad. It can be all the way from the picnic to the senior cat. You know, the stipulation I put on the senior cat was that I don't want to look at the medical issues to have to deal with, and at the same time trying to adjust to the kitty cat's personality. So I think that's the only restriction I've put on the senior children, that they not have just an overwhelming list of medical issues to take care of. Maybe that's unfair of me, but that's the way it is right now. So that's the latest from this end. I thought it was really good, if very emotional eulogy on the Green Mountain of Rosie. And I wish I had recorded it, but I didn't. It gave her the complete all the way to the time she passed away. So anyway, that was done. So I think I did a proper send-off, if I can put it that way. Let's see, what else? Yesterday was a dismal rainy day. Today it looks sunny. I haven't checked the temperature yet, but I'm long overdue for a bicycle ride, so I might just go out this morning after the net if it's not too cold. I'm going to go for a trike ride. So that's it for the round one. So over to yesterday, K2FW, W1 of VTP, and I'll be here for the second round.
Already, Al. Tremendous, great transmission. This is for King Fox Whiskey on Ontario. And signals are really outstanding. Jeff is well over S9, and Al, you're about 10 dB stronger than Jeff. Really just armchair copy, no fading at all. Just solid signal, and really great transmission. Glad to hear you're making progress, really good progress actually, and you're getting everything all lined up. Real nice on the eulogy for Rosie. That's terrific stuff. Very good. So really happy that you're making progress, and as I said in the pre-net, look forward to eventually seeing what kind of kitty you end up with. That'll be exciting. Maybe we can adopt a new kitty as the official kitty of the AM carrier net. You know, Jeff mentioned in the pre-net that we have an awful lot of animal-friendly people on this net, and that's very true. Very true. Anyway, Joe, I hope things are going okay with the with your extended family. Hopefully, you can stick around, and whatever it is, hopefully it's not anything real serious. So I'm sort of hoping you don't have to break in between someone's transmission to say you have to take off. A couple comments. Boy, that's really interesting information about the looked like a tornado hit up there in Long Island. The remnants of that hurricane, not the one that just went by yesterday, which, geez, we must have had at least 2 inches of rain here in South Jersey. It was an incredible amount of rain. But the other storm, which came through here, I really believe it was still a hurricane, and that thing did a lot of damage around here as well. Not to the extent what you were mentioning, Joe, but still a lot of damage. And I know I heard from both Andy and Jeff about how bad it was up in Long Island as well. Chris, you had mentioned something about 40 meter AM, and I agree. I've been on a couple of times over the last month on 40 AM, and I kind of wish, rather than be stuck all the way at the top of the band up around 7295, 7290, Chris, I would love to see some AM activity during the day, or even in the evening as well, down more around 7170, 7160. There's plenty of space there, and to be honest with you, there's not that much activity. I'd really like to see AMers kind of get a frequency in, somewhere below 7200. I think that would be really nice, rather than sticking us up at the end. And what happens up at the end is once you get near sunset, the AM broadcast, the foreign AM broadcast take over, and you can't even use a AM in the evening on 40. So that's why I'd love to see something below 7200. Bob, real good on the hacked emails. I get them all the time. And if you really look at it, especially if you look at the return email address, you can kind of tell whether it's fake or not. Jerry, looks like both of our teams are in deep doo-doo in the playoffs. Our team plays again tonight at 8 p.m. and it falls under the heading of a must-win. And they're just right now being outclassed by the other team, the Islanders. And we're having I'm using an Ico 720 right now, but I have another one that's on CW, and I paired it up yesterday with an S-line receiver, and got on both 40 and 20 meters with it, and made at least 7 or 8 contacts on CW. It was a lot of fun, and boy, the Ico 720 is such an easy rig to work on, not heavy, and a very basic unit that works really well. And when you use it on CW, it has almost a perfect note, no chirp at all. Well, I've went on long enough. Let me get it over to up to Bruce, and I'll be listening out through the first round. I will not be back for round 2, but I will be listening out through the entire first round. And it kind of looks like, unless we get new check-ins, we have 12 here today on the AM carrier net. Up to you, Bruce. And Bruce and Chris, I apologize for not making the vintage sideband net. I've been tied up almost every Friday morning with tennis, and eventually that will end, and I'll be back, but I apologize for not making it on there. Up to you, Bruce. WX10 in the AM carrier net to get it from Kilowatt 2 Fox Whiskey K2FW.
Okay, Steve. Good morning to you and to the rest of the fellows on the net this morning. Name here is Bruce, and we're located in Middlebury, Vermont, but I'm sure you all know that. Still using the Ranger, driving the L2 amplifier, outdoor dipole, and D104 microphone. So, the needles are moving. I have some modulating. And today it's kind of gray and overcast, but it's not raining. We got all of our rain yesterday, a lot of it too. I think I mentioned on the prenet. We had, I don't know how much, probably at least an inch, maybe an inch and a half. All of it was welcome, and it's been very dry up here in Vermont. It helped out a little bit, I'm sure. Matter of fact, we haven't found it to try and cut our grass. I have, my mower is ailing. So it's much easier for me just to have a neighbor who has a business cutting grass to take care of it. He also watches the house in the wintertime. And cleans up all the leaves. This is a great convenience. So one of the things I continue to do is repairing the corner of one corner of the house. Now I've moved to the opposite corner to the southeast, starting like almost there. And that location, there's an areaway that leads to the cellar. It's been covered forever. And when I mean ever, we've lived there for 35 years, and it's as old as the house was 1788. And it's not accessible. I've decided to change that. The problem is that you have this hole going into the cellar right underneath a valley where 2 roof sections come together. So in the winter you have a ton of snow dropping to the ground and therefore into the hole. And when it's not freezing, then you have all that water coming down. So it's been covered with a sheet of plywood, which is now rotten. And now looking to get rid of that. It's quite an effort because you have heavy stones that were created, that were installed to create part of the bulkhead. And I'm talking about 150 pound kind of stones. So I have a stone boat. That's a good term for a device that used to move stones around a field when the farmer wanted to clean it. But I just, for years, I've had a sheet of plywood attached to a rope. And as long as I can roll those heavy stones into the plywood, then I can actually hook it to the trailer hitch of the car and drive it around, the yard, get rid of those babies. And so it works quite well. I do a lot of heavy work on mechanical maintenance in the form of a part, trying to lift So that's the story here. Enjoying being in New England for the summer and for the fall, and looking forward to many more conversations on the AM Carrier Net. So I think this is mark me down for one time there, Joe, and I'll be listening throughout the rest of the net. But down to Terry. Terry, your signal is quite good, quite good up here in Vermont. So no problem hearing you at all. So down to Terry, W3MMR WX10.
In the AM carrier net W3MMR. Good signal down here as well, Bruce. Great to hear you this morning. Good to hear everyone. Good signals this morning. The band is very quiet here now. This morning at 3:30, 4 o'clock, it was brutal when the band was still very long, but it's definitely quieted down now, and beautiful conditions, beautiful weather. It's still in the 60s, 69 degrees. About to take the dog for a walk, so this will be my one and done, Joe. Good morning to you. Thank you as always for running a great net. You do a fantastic job. Just on the Anon this morning, Henry amplifier running about 300 watts of carrier. Anyway, again, Al, sorry about Rosie, man. It's absolutely horrible, and hopefully you get your new companion there real soon. I'm looking at my dog right now. I'm about to take him, like I said, for a walk here, and he's been staring at me, rip-roaring and ready to go. And what else have I got written down here? Steve, yeah, the Flyers, boy, they aren't looking too good right now. Drew needs to step up, and a lot of guys need to step up here. Carter Hart can't stand on his head and do it all, so hopefully they'll turn things around here this evening. And Joe, yes, Rob N1ALF was live streaming and was posted a bunch of stuff about the storms up north there in Connecticut, New York, Long Island the other day, and so I was following along there. So I hope everybody was spared. Everyone. Hopefully everyone made out okay. So with that being said, I'll say 7-3, guys. Send it up to you, Bob, in Walcott, and we'll catch up with you guys next week. W1GTH in the AM carrier net, 7-3 from W3MMR.
W3MMR and the AM carrier net. This is W1GTH Bob in Walcott on the ART-13 into a dipole. And okay, Joe, so I'm only going to be in here for one round. I'm back to my normal schedule, which is good and bad in that I don't get to stick around for a second round, but good in that I get taken care of what I need to.
Whiskey 3, Mike, Rob.
I get the Waterbury paper here, and there's a picture of a girl holding a fish in here, and this fish, supposedly she was night fishing, but I don't know how that works out, because obviously the photo that she's taken holding the fish is during the daytime. But fishing out of a kayak, this was in the Northwest Branch Reservoir up around Colebrook, Connecticut. And she caught a 46-inch, 29-pound northern pike, and she says in the article there that she can't believe she got it in the kayak without tipping over or getting her toes bit off, and I can understand what she's talking about. And it tied a 40-year-old record for that particular species of fish, and it's amazing how big this thing is. But anyhow, I already told you I'm going to be in here for one round. We did get for the month we've got about 3.5 inches of rain, which to me is a blessing, because I have a well, and I have run out in the past, and that's no fun, I can tell you that. And so we should be in decent shape as long as we get a normal rainfall here going into the winter. And Al, I told you last week. So sorry about Rosie. I heard you talking, and I was, I'm a dog and a cat lover, and I've had quite a few of them in my life. But I also thought about getting an older cat, something that wouldn't outlive me probably, but but then again, you get caught up in that issue of veterinary bills, and so I've refrained so far. But this is something I picked up from another net that I'm on every morning, and I've had a little chest pain for quite a while now. I have a cardiologist, and it really hasn't amounted to much, but last week, I forget what day it was a little more severe, so I went to the cardiologist. I didn't get to see him, but I got to see his physician assistant there, and the reason I'm saying this is that the other net I was on, one of the fellas there, I forget what state he's from now, it's a sideband net, but he said that one of the symptoms, he just went in and had 2 stents put in his arteries, and he's feeling a lot better, but one of the symptoms, and what bothers me, is that neither the cardiologist or the PA had mentioned this. One of the symptoms of blocked arteries is falling asleep. And I've noticed that that's been happening to me pretty regular. I actually nodded off at the computer here one day, and that's the first time that has ever happened to me. I spent a lot of time on the computer doing a lot of genealogy stuff, and so I'm just a little irritated that I may change cardiologists. And so my daughter stopped up there with me, and of course, I've told you guys she's got cancer, and she's been going. She made a lot of mistakes in where she went for her treatments, and one was this St. Mary's Hospital in Waterbury, which I absolutely will not go there. And so, long story short, she goes down to Yale New Haven, and she's pretty satisfied, 90% anyway, with what they're doing down there. And so I told this PA, I said, just be aware that I will not, if I go in for this dye test, which shows blockage supposedly, I will not be going to St. Mary's, I will be going to Yale. And of course right away she said, well, you have to change cardiologist then, because your cardiologist is not qualified to do that. So that was news to me. And so anyhow, what I'm looking for, I don't mind going down there if for the test and the stents if that's what they want to do. But we kind of like to have a decent cardiologist closer to home around here, so I don't have to drive New Haven. I hate driving down to Yale. It's I usually ride down with my daughter, but if I had to do that myself, that's not. The older you get, the less you like driving. And this day and age is type of driving because nobody cares about anything anymore. I don't even know why they put turn signals on automobiles, because nobody wants to use them anymore. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox about that. But so anyway, that's the situation. We're in good shape as far as the rain goes so far, and so I'm again, Joe. I will be listening out here, but I'm going to turn it over to AJ1G, Chris down close to you, Joe. AJ1G, this is W1GTH 73.
Yeah, okay, very good, Bob. W1GTH, the AM carrier net, AJ1G. Wow, Bob, that's quite a fish. It's funny you mentioned fishing here. We have a birthday coming up in the family, one of my grandkids, and I'm putting together a tackle box for him out of some stuff we got kicking around here. Nice little, one of these little beer cooler bags that you can pay a lot of money for a fishing bag. They make a soft-sided bag. A fishing bag is very expensive if you go to Job Lot or something like that. or a discount store, and you buy a little one of these soft-sided beer coolers, and get them for a lot less. So I bought one of those and bought some little divider cases, and I'm filling them up with all sorts of trinkets for them here for the, things are designed to catch more fishermen than fish, probably, but we'll have a nice little selection of lures and rubber worms and gummy worms and all that stuff here to go with a fishing rod that he got. We actually I gave him a fishing rod a little earlier in the summer, so he had a chance to use it during the summer. I got a backup on stuff. Supplement a little bit of stuff I gave him last time. That's quite a fish, and a kayak at night. I was just reading about night. There's a whole, I don't know if any fishermen how many guys are fishermen out there, but On the Water magazine, very good local fishing magazine, recreational fishing magazine. Just got their August issue. It's all about night fishing. There's something about night fishing and kayaks there, and a lot of things you got to think about. People got to be able to see you and see you from a distance. So they are up there with radar reflectors and the lights and everything else. And it must be pretty interesting out there in the middle of the night in the dark on a lake or on the ocean even with a fishing kayak. And you get a fish like that. Fish the girl caught, it'll probably take on a little Nantucket sleigh ride. Apparently that does happen with some of the bigger fish. Sounds like a lot of fun. Regarding the weather, we were out and about down on New London on Thursday. We got home and things were looking very threatening, and I put the TV on, and the local weather people were going nuts about that because right as I tuned in, it looked like there was indeed a tornado down there in the North Haven, Brantford area. And my son Dave, the guy who does the IT work for FoxChurch.org, he's down there in Brantford. Their new main office for the Fox Church organization just moved into an industrial office area complex in Brantford, right off of 95, and I've only been in there a couple of months now, or a month or so, and got a hold of them. They lost food, but it was a good operational test of his network, the networks he worked on setting up for him, and their backup power and UPSs and things like that. Everything weathered the storm literally weathered the storm quite nicely, he said. But there was a lot of damage down there, and a state of emergency and all of that. And Joe, we really dodged a bullet on that one. It was heading northwest to southeast, up in Litchfield County down through the Brantford, West Haven, East Haven, North Haven, Brantford area, and then out to sea and over the, I don't know how bad it was when it got over the North Shore of Long Island, northeast corner of Long Island here, but it was pretty bad there as well. But anyhow, that's that on that. Yeah, this is the new DX100. Yeah, I got a question for people. And Joe, I'm only going to be running out, but I'm going to listen out for the remainder of round one and probably in round two. And stuff like that. This DX100 uses 5R4 high voltage rectifiers, and I've been watching. I was running it earlier, just kind of in the dark. I'm watching all the tubes. I was looking for plate color and things like that. And one of the things I noticed is that the TR switching on this radio for AM, you're basically using a plate switch to turn the high voltage on and off. And I think you're actually switching the primary of the plate transformer with this double pole, double throw switch. There's a bunch of things that happen, but one of them appears to be you turn on that plate transformer right from the AC to going on transmit. And on that, when you do this, the transition, the 5R4 rectifiers, I noticed one of them has a very light flashover virtually every time I key the transmitter on. And apparently it's the tube, because I swapped the tubes and the flashover follows the tubes. In fact, it's only on one side of the dual elements in the 5R4 that's doing it. I pulled another 5R4 I had here, and it was doing it also. So I don't know if it's a tube type thing or what, and a little concerned about, is that, what sort of stress is that putting on the choke input filter choke and the transformer secondary and all that. So if anyone has any feelings on that, what I probably should do, and it's especially easy on this transmitter because the high voltage circuit, you can put, I can put solid state rectifiers in place of the 5-watt boys. Get rid of some heat and all this and the rest of the low voltage circuits because they're all on a separate supply and a separate transformer. At any rate, that's what's going on, and appreciate comments on what you think this thing sounds like too. And I'll be listening out. Joe, good luck with the family situation that's going on. I hope it's nothing serious, and whatever it is, it resolves okay. So everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next week. See some of you guys on the sideband net. And I was just talking to Steve WA1QIX. It looks like the Lonely Guys net, he was debating whether or not to start up this coming weekend on Memorial Day, and I told him, well, this net is very busy down here, so if you start up the Lonely Guys, I'm sure you won't be talking to yourself next weekend. So he is going to start it up next weekend, it looks like, unless something comes up. Anyhow, 73 all, God bless you all, God bless America. And over to Andy, WA2CDO, to the AM carrier at AJ1G.
Modifications, the modulator to make it sound better. But it's on the bench and I tested it and it's working good. I modified it, but it's some modifications to the current delay and support relay and everything. A number of things, sometimes everyone looks at the unfortunately, I don't have one. I was debating whether to get one because I had it, but really good. So that's the situation. In regard to fishing, I just happen to know my neighbor next door has a fishing boat for sale. Brand new, never used. And it's an inflatable boat. So I'm figuring on maybe putting that on the slot traffic show. I'll give you all the details on the make, model, and stall if anyone's interested. It's a boat that goes two or three feet with two or three passengers, and also it comes with a trolling motor for trolling. This is an inflatable boat with a trailer. Somebody's interested in that. What else can I say? Except the weather conditions here have not been too bad. Given what's been going on up north, and I know it's all everybody's been said good. There's mention on the news on the Gulls of EF1 tornadoes that hit Connecticut. That was posted on the news last week, so I didn't know about that. We didn't want to get that rain over here. We've been pretty lucky, I guess, compared to north and south here. We got a few storms. Other than the hurricane that came through, that was the worst storm we had. Anything else? Mr. Malone says, Justin, you will see that fine again. Hopefully, we'll keep on working. And if you want to stop by and listen and hear what the 720 sounds like, it sounds really good with the 204 microphone. So I'm impressed so far. And that's, I guess for this round, I'm going to just make this my final transmission and continue next week. And incidentally, one more piece of information if anyone is interested. The radio club I belong to, Longmont, on Sunday night, which will be tonight, has a starting at 8 o'clock. That's been going on for the past 40 years. And I've been giving a segment on the technical method called Andy's Corner. And what I've been doing is talking about different aspects of the technical side of amateur radio. We're doing a segment, I should say, on coax cables and how they're designed, how they work, what their losses are, what their properties are, and so on. So I've been giving a talk about that, and I'm going to be giving a continuing talk about it tonight, which we started a few weeks ago. So we're going to be talking over the next number of months, just giving you a new segment that I started it, and seems like we have a pretty good response to that. Look at this is Jim, and this is my final transmission, and any questions, just email me and I can answer. WATNER, Joey, in the carrier net. We'll do it to you, Jim. Have a good week, guys. WA2CDL.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. WA2CDL. In the group from WA2NER. Andy, sorry to say, second week in a row, I've not been able to copy you. You kind of went way down and came up toward the end there, but hopefully you didn't address any comments to me because I didn't hear them, but I did hear you drop out toward the end. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good week. Joe, some people, I guess, seem to know that something's going on at your place. Not that I need to know what's going on, but whatever it is, my wish is that it resolves and resolves quickly. So, very good. Running the ICOM this morning, the Pro 2, into the L7, about 250 watts of carrier, which kind of as usual, my usual power output, and I'm giving them the Millen station a rest. Got some good news on my homebrew AM transmitter. My new power transformer arrived. I installed it. I had some instability issues with the transmitter. I solved that. And yesterday afternoon, it powered up, pretty much full power, nice and stable. And so I'm ready to take it to the next stage. And the next stage is going to be hooking up the modulator. Modulator's all built and everything, that and the speech amp. But when I was debugging and testing the RF amp, I just decided to bypass the modulator and do one stage at a time. So now that that's working, I don't know if I'm going to have time today to play with it. I have some outdoor things I need to do, and it's going to be out for a little bit. If I have any energy, I may play, but other than that, no. And maybe, who knows, maybe hopefully next week I'll be able to give a report saying that everything's up and operating and it's running well. So we'll see. Also on the radio front, the NC303 that I managed to pick up has been finally fully tested. Switch is clean, doesn't really need anything, and I'm just waiting for an opportunity to rearrange the shack buttons up here on the desk, on the operating desk. Then I'll have three receivers. I've got the FX28, which is kind of my prime AM receiver. My 75A4, which is kind of a battle conditions receiver, which I can't remember the last time I actually needed to use it for AM, so it kind of sits idle most of the time. And then, of course, I'll have the 203. So that's what's going on with that. I will probably go out and wash 64 Buick today. It's got a layer of dust on it. I've been driving it, but every time I take it out until the sun lights up, it's all dusty. I really have to wash it. So maybe today I'll do that. Washing cars is one of those things that I really don't like doing. And the other little project I have is I have a clock that's pushing 100 years old. It's an electric clock. It was in my grandfather's barbershop. He had his own barbershop back in the 1920s.
when he built it, and that clock goes way back to then. So I don't know exactly when in the 20s, probably the late 20s, but it's pushing 100. And I had to put a new electric movement in it. They're hard to find. AC movements for clocks are not easy to find anymore. And of course, everybody will sell you a quartz movement. And those things are just god-awful. They're spastic, sweet second hands, and they click, and, I just hate them. So I was lucky on eBay. I found a couple of original movements, not necessarily matching that clock, but it's a synchronous movement. It'll work fine. The hands fit on it, so that'll be my little project. I'll eventually put that up in the shack. A couple of comments, Al. You mentioned the Green Mountain net. I kind of came across a net at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon that the net control station was announcing you on the roster. I didn't have time to sit around and listen, so if that's the net that you will be to Rosie, I'm sorry I missed that. But I just kind of happened up on the net at the higher end of 80 meters side beam, so maybe that was it. So, best of luck in the search for a kitten. They are nice to have. We have 2 cats here, as you know, and one is 13, the other is 8, and fortunately they're in good health yet, so hopefully that'll stay. And what else? That's about it. 1 round only today, and wish everybody 73. I'll listen out till it gets back up to net control, and I'm going to pull the plug and go do stuff. So who do I get it to? Bill, pick it up. KD1SH. This is WAQNER.
Yesterday, they're predicting potential severe thunderstorms. They have nothing like that yesterday at all. They were showing up in the distance on the weather radar. I can hear some Texas southwestern clouds did have, as far as I know, they were concerned with tornadoes. I'm not sure if that was a concern to the National Weather Service or not, but they certainly seem like tornadoes. Boy, that's anytime there's predictions of severe thunderstorms, every road we took was blocked. And, of course, my heart's up in my throat all the way. And wondering if I'm going to get home and find the house.
put back into their cabinets and cleaned up the floor. The oil is finding all my clip leads. I must be finding a dozen or so. And we've ordered some metal shelving for the unfinished part of the basement. We're doing kind of part of that part. We're taking stuff off the floor and
Yeah, okay, Jerry, very good. I know you said one and done. I'm just going to check to see, Bill, if you're still close to the switch. I'm not sure if you are. But I knew you probably made a comment that I was distracted, and things are fine here. It's really just kind of a sporadic extended family thing. You know, it's fine. There's no trouble. That I can see, at least from where I sit, so that's good. And I think my morning will continue reasonably normal conditions. I don't need to run off or anything, which is good. But I may need to follow up later. That's the plan. So, Bill, I don't know if I can't remember whether you said you're going to stay for round 2. If you're near the switch, Bill, Kitty1SH. Are you planning to stay, or do you need to run? Very good. Yeah, I heard you mention that. Now that you refreshed my memory, and good luck with sealing up the basement there, and that's always kind of a process, right, where you got to dry it out. We always run a dehumidifier down here. I don't leave it running while I'm on the net, just because I don't want to listen to it and don't want to have it as background noise when I'm transmitting. But most of the rest of the time, it's running away, trying to suck moisture out of the environment down here, which is a good thing. It's just a tough time of year. In the wintertime, it's really a complete non-issue. At this time of year, it's almost necessary to keep that thing running, and well, it is what it is. But it's knock wood as I say this, we've had this dehumidifier for 2 years, and it's done well, so appreciate that thing holding up. Okay, Bill, very good, and I did make a note that Jerry was done. So let's give a check to see if there's any additional check-ins, because not many folks are able to stay for round 2, but certainly appreciate everybody coming in for round 1. Let's see if there's anybody else in the mix here today. Any other check-ins for the AM carrier net, please call now. This is N1VIV.
And 2LJO.
Okay, so there was a double there, but I don't know if one of those doubles was KC2 RGW.
Yeah, so I did get that as a follow-up. Was there another station or two in there?
And to LJO.
W1EKG.
Okay, well, good morning to George. Nice to hear you. And Ross, very good. And I'm just trying to see if I can go back. Oh, that's Chris in New Hampshire, I believe. KC2RGW, is that right? Yeah. Good morning to you, Chris. So nice to have some end of round one check-ins. That's fabulous. Let's give another listen just in case any other stations wishing to check into the net. Please call now. This is N1VIV. Okay, well, nothing heard. So, let's extend the round one list here. And we'll send it to Chris, KC2RGW in New Hampshire. KC2RGW, we'll send it to George. N2LJO down there in New York. And N2LJO, we'll send it back up to Ross, W1EKG. In Whitman, Mass. And then Ross, again, if there's any other check-ins, we'll tack him in after you. And if not, we'll come back to me and we'll take a look at who might be able to stay for round two. So great to hear you folks in here coming in at the end of round one. That's fabulous. So, Chris, how are things in New Hampshire? Hope you're doing well. KC2RGW and the AM carrier now. This is N1VIV.
Halfway through or so, maybe I caught a 2:30. Still getting my eyes open here, working on some costumes for breakfast. Waiting for the property to dry out. Waiting a little while. It's looking kind of wet out here. Got a bunch of work to do. Use a mow. Got some of the section I call the back 40. It's kind of rough, cleared area. I ran out of gas the last time I was mowing, so it hasn't been mowed for a while. Nice to get the brush on. I don't know if my riding tractor's going to be able to see it or not. Waiting for that to happen. Kind of a bunch of work to move around. I've got the supply. It's not a range yet. So obviously, wood stacking into the future here. That's not done. The weather's breaking for that. Not a lot else to report. It's a real nice morning up here. And just enjoying listening along. And as the work goes, trying to keep the dogs coming. I think it was Chris earlier. I asked him when he was asking about the sound. It sounds pretty good. Sounds clean. No real issues with it. But I'd like to see it secure in the future for that. Because I'm missing out on a lot of the commentary as we go on. Nice to hear everyone here. Nice to have a quiet morning with hopefully some propagation for the Notice Rough. A lot of electrical storms the past 10 days or so. So to be able to get in and actually have relaxing communications quality to the band, that's a privilege. So nice to hear that. So with that, I'll send it over to LJO George. This is KC2RGW, Chris in here in New Hampshire.
Okay, very good, Chris. Thank you very much. KC2RGW and the AM carrier net. This is N2LJO. Good morning to all. Hello, Joe. I heard Perry in there. I heard Al. Some other stations that I don't know personally, but pretty decent signals for the most part. It's just overdue to say hello and show my face. This will be a one and done. I want to wish everybody a happy Labor Day weekend. I am driving my TL922 amp with a Ranger I did up about a year ago. Hopefully it sounds okay. Listening on a Lafayette HA230. If anybody's curious, I'm up in northern Westchester County in Yorktown. And the antenna is a parallel dipole up about 40 feet. And that's about it. I hope everyone enjoys the last gasp of summertime and has a good weekend next week. And then we'll be into the fall routine, which I guess won't be very routine. And of course, I get on the radio, my wife has to start talking loudly in the background. But in any event, 7-3 to all. And I'm supposed to hand it over to Ross, W1EKG. This is N2LJO.
Yeah, I imagine he was hearing you, George. I'm hearing you quite well here. So let me see if I can give Ross a try there. W1EKG, if you're there, Ross. Go ahead and take it. N1VI. Well, he may have gotten pulled away with a spontaneous phone encounter. That's going to happen from time to time. There's no question about that. You know, Ross runs a kind of a one-man small business there, and imagine that stray calls coming your way from time to time. So we'll be here for a few minutes, Ross, if you're listening, and you can get back and pop in whenever you like. I certainly look forward to getting you in there for a few minutes. So, I did not hear him, but I'll give one more listen, just in case. Sorry about that. And see if he's in there. If you're in there, Ross, go ahead. If not, hop back in when you can. Okay, nothing hurt. Sorry about the double clutch on the transmit thread. That's no good. Turned myself off in mid-sentence. In any case, wow. So let's see if I did. So we had 15 so far, and there may be some stragglers come in. Let's take a crack at round 2. I just want to pause momentarily and say, I think you said you have a run, George. So great to hear you in here, and thanks for coming in. Yeah, please come by as often as you can here on Sunday mornings. But it's nice to have you pop in. And you're sounding quite good here with the Ranger and the 922. That's kind of my lash up here is the Homebrew. 2 amplifier. So we've had good service when this CL922 we picked up. So very happy with that indeed. Let's see. Oh, Chris, yeah, very good. Needing to get some work done outside. Yeah, I've got work to do outside. I'm still kind of mired in the bathroom remodel. It just got stalled, mainly because we're getting ready. One of the things I forgot to mention in my round 1 transmission, in case I didn't say it, this is N1VIV, that we're getting ready to move my older son back to Boston. And so that's happening Tuesday. So my priority really needs to be anything that's associated with that. So prep and stage and organize and plan, whatever's needed. And then we've got a pretty good sized moving van, commercial van rented, and this is a little different than moving him into a dorm because he's going to have a real apartment with real furniture. So the good news is there's about 4 to 5 pieces of furniture that have not gotten any use in the past several years. They've just been lingering here, taking up space. They're going to Boston, and I've requested that they not return.
for space reasons. So it's kind of like use it as long as you can. And I suspect if this arrangement with these 4 guys works out well, they will probably sustain their roommate status for the next 3 years at a minimum. You know, and so that is a good thing. Just kind of a stable living arrangement up there. And if he ends up maybe landing a summer internship in the next couple of years, we don't need to worry about where he's going to live. If he's landed something up there in Boston, it's a 12-month lease. And that's a really good thing. So I think it's going to work out pretty well. And so, you know, with all that being said, there's a lot to be organized, and we're sending off the child, and we're sending off some furniture with him, and saying, please, unless you absolutely have to, don't bring it back. Find somebody who can use it if you're not going to use it anymore. So that's what's going on here. And I'm really hoping to get back to working on the bathroom. I'm taking a few days off next week. I did find out that all the bath fixtures that I ordered are in, so I'm going to have to get over to Lowe's in Waterford, Connecticut, and pick those up. And so that will be my motivation, hopefully. And, you know, we just got to kind of get it done. The project started and then stalled and started, and now it's stalled again. Now it needs to get started. That's the story. But very enjoyable here on the net this morning. And very interesting, Al, on just possibly seeking a new family member. You know, it's very interesting. I was asking my son, my older son, who's heading back to Boston, you know, what are the things that you're looking forward to, you know, getting settled up there? And one of the things that he said, because we recently lost our cat several months ago, I guess 2 of the guys that are moving in are bringing cats with them. And my son is very interested in having cats around him. Even if they're not his, he'll be kind of collaborating in the care of the kitties. He's going to be primarily responsible for them, and they're going to have house cats in the house. So that'll be interesting. And you know, I guess that's a good sign that you know, we've had animals around here before we have. Again, we are animal free right now, but may go down that path at some point in the next few months. We'll have to see. We got to get some stuff done. But I was very interested to hear about your experience out and new opportunities, so that's great. And certainly appreciate your expressions about your remembrance of Rosie. That's important. Let's see, other comments that folks made. Well, Andy, if you're still listening, I'm very interested in hearing the new transmitter and associated station on the air. That'll be fun to hear, that's for sure. So if maybe we'll hear it on next Sunday, that'd be great. And again, thanks so much, everybody, for your expressions. It's just kind of it's not a serious concern. Just every once in a while, you know, there's ripples in the water of the extended family, but it's not anything to be gravely concerned about. Just you know, people have conflicts, and try to do what you can to help them out when you can, but sometimes you can't necessarily always be helpful. So it is what it is. But it's not anything that affects my, you know, family, the people who live in this household. But you know, it's still it's challenging. Thanks for your thoughts. I appreciate it. That's my main thrust. And let's see. I guess seeing as I've gone on a little bit here, let's give one more check on Ross, and then we'll take a shot at round 2 for those who may be able to linger. So, W1EKG, if you're back, Ross, go ahead and take it. This is N1VIV. No, I guess for now at least Ross is not able to stay, but if you get back, Ross, please pop in. So, Al, I think you're the only one, you and maybe Chris up in New Hampshire, KC2RGW, are the only two I see that are potentially staying for round 2. If I have that wrong and misheard, please, anybody else who's interested in making a round 2 transmission, pop in. But let me send it to Al, W1VTP, and the AM carrier. I guess you can send it back to me, Al, and I'll try to sort out if there's anybody else. We'll try to send it to Chris, and then check on Ross one more time, and that may wrap the net. But over to you, Al. W1VTP. This is N1VIV.
Really nice message for unfortunately, all of the comments always say one thing, this is more helpful thing than anything else. But that was really God, just you know it. And I did not know who it was, and I had always to delete those kind of emails if you don't, because nothing is really flammable if you know what you do. So generally, for these kind of emails, without ceremony, because I'm not interested in emails that don't identify themselves. Now, AT&T is a big, it's a lot of blames for some of this stuff, this nonsense. And that they assign their phone numbers at AT&T, etc. And I know, honestly, don't know who these people are, and I will possibly sometime, if I'm generously inclined, I will write back, who are you? And if they don't respond, then I just delete the email. And so the email that came from Bob was a nondescript, something at whatever. And so I had sent an email from the contact of him. I was generously disposed, and so I said, "Who are you anyway?" And I never did. I don't think I ever did get a response. So I don't know if he got an email or if he just didn't understand the question. As the day progressed, I discovered that it was gone, and so I sent another email back for him. Probably I used the subject line, which I shouldn't have done. But it's pretty email and had his name and call associated with it. Confusion was all about right. My soapbox is this: try to have a descriptive email that you send out to your friends who may or may not know your email. If you're an ARRL member, they have a really great service where you can have your call at ARRL.net. And you can send in any email you want, nondescript or whatever. And that does work very, very well. I use it most of my addresses on TV, and it will continue to be there. I have a lifetime member anyway, so I don't, have any problem with that. I won't respond to Jim. I don't really see any other things that he's out about not either, but yes, the real often is the net that I participate in almost every day. Yes, that one I do every day. I will have to find that schedule because it's just picking up. As much as I like most of the folks on that net, some of them are curmudgeons, and they get into wear on my nerves, and so this is fun. This is a hobby. It's not a business. My schedule and everything. I'm just going down through my comments. The only other thing I have left that I think I should talk about is I'm having problems with my MSN coax switches. I've already taken one out of service, and then I'm working on another one, and it is disaster. It turns out the beryllium or whatever metal, whatever that pin-like material is inside the switch, over time it is, well, it's not strong enough to really the kind of pressure that it should be, and the contacts, they corrode over time. And you can't just keep the sandpaper and some contacts in there. What I use is either construction paper or 3x5 index card, and you can clean it up possibly that way. So, but I did see a YouTube on a cure for that problem by simply adding an O-ring to the right strength. The way that switch works is when you rotate the switch, anyway, my point is that I need to look into that. I'm getting a little bit tired of having to rock and switch back and forth until it's back to work. So that's all I have to say. And I guess I turn it over to you, Chris, WNGT.
Yeah, real good, Al. Nice to hear you this morning. I missed you on the first round there. And probably something you know, but like if you are polishing up anything with your beryllium contacts, just wash your hands. Be careful not to get the shavings in your skin at all. Beryllium's not to be an alarmist, but some gloves or wash your hands carefully in the right way after you're done. KC2RGW with the AM carrier.
Yeah, well, very good, Al and Chris. Yeah, and I'll just pause real quick. Is there anybody that I overlooked for round two, or anybody that intended to come back that I somehow overlooked? I think I was paying pretty close attention and made pretty good notes, but did I miss anybody, or are there any check-ins, or is Ross back? I just want to check before I make comments, because I want to offer some comments there to Chris. But any check-ins, any check-backs?
Well, I'll be the one to say sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, if you want to go ahead, Ross, go ahead, and then I'll follow up with some comments to Chris in a few minutes. That's no trouble.
Oh, okay, no problem. I was out on my deck with my air hose blowing blood off an old grinder buffer motor, and that I had picked up from the SK estate of WANIND a few weeks ago. My son expressed an interest in being able to use it, and somebody painted it with a fire hose, so there's all sorts of paint chipping off of it and so forth. So I was out cleaning that off. Other than that, not too much happening here. We're trying to tidy the place up a little bit. It looks like a bomb went off in here. This job of taking care of leftover stuff from SK Estates is a daunting task one way or the other. And my shack looks like a bomb went off in there, so I need to get tidied up. Other than that, not a whole lot happening. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day out there. I have some maintenance to do on my generator and on my snowblower that I want to do before we get to the winter. And the car system, K1TJF over in Brockton, I found he was a district coordinator from Mars, and I found all kinds of interesting paperwork regarding that. It's just all irrelevant at this point, but I have a friend, N1I2I, who's very much interested in traffic nets and that sort of thing, so I was going to take all the paperwork and bring it to him, let him sift through it, and then recycle it. So that's what I'm going to do this morning, I guess. I'm going to take a run over to Lauren's house. Running the T368 this morning. I won't be around for round 2. I like to fire the T3 up once in a while just to exercise a little bit. I talked to you, Joe, last night on the AR-213, and we got into some static crashes and heavy selective shading, so I missed the last transmission, at least some of it. So you can feel fall in the air out there, that's for sure. All right, very good. 7-3, everybody. Have a great day. This is W1EKG.
Yeah, okay, well, it was nice to connect yesterday before the conditions were very unstable and unusual. Just from my perspective, where I was I was able to hear you. That kind of transmission, but I think it was conditions were really falling apart and were not very good to start with. I was looking for a while. It was on 3075, and now it's failing propagation, which I do check in with from time to time. Bearing that. Excuse me. And yeah, it did seem like I didn't look yesterday, but you had commented that not very favorable for the local conditions. That's for sure. But yeah, so that was probably what was going on there. Conditions are quite nice yesterday. Hearing everybody pretty well. That's very good. Well, I will give you some comments here, Chris, and I was going to ask you a couple of questions. Certainly sounding good as I decided to hear about that. But, so yeah, the story here with this particular homebrew that is the one picture that I have up on my Twitter page. So I built this transmitter with the help of